If you've been following along on my homestead / flower farm journey, you know that I'm using aquarium water to supplement some of the fertilizers that I'm using for my seedlings and growing plants. I decided I wanted to take a sample of something I seen in my aquarium, and it turns out I have snails. These are actually a pest snail, and it's kind of really neat because ecosystems, they just appear out of nowhere. So I'm assuming that these snails snuck into my aquarium on some aquatic plants. Something neat to show you. I also wanted to show you the progress on the tulips. I really suck at growing tulips indoors, and but I do have some blooms. I ended up trying these ones hydroponically, just doing some makeshift trays, and this one blew open before I could harvest it on time. But these are some of the seedlings and the plant starts that you had seen me do an unboxing on. These are the Lisianthus, and this is a few days after the unboxing, so they look pretty good. The eucalyptus looks really good here. I did lose about half of it after this video was shot. I think there was a few things that went wrong there and such, but I've just been keeping plants alive, giving them water. This is the salad tray we made, and soil blocking. So I start seeds and I plant seeds, and I start them in the house and I take them out to the greenhouse. And so I'm using 3/4 inch seed or soil blocks to do most of my seed starting. And I just basically try to maximize how much space I can utilize. That's why I use these soil blocks, and they work really well. The seedlings stay very healthy and such. So highly recommend soil blocking. I've been transferring out my seedlings in this Costco bag, and I stacked up the boxes inside of this Costco bag with the shipping boxes I got from my plugs in the previous unboxing video. It's so handy. This works really well. So if you are someone who has to transfer plants in cold weather, this is a really great, easy way to do if you can get your hands on one of these Costco bags and some of those shipping boxes for plugs. That really works really well. These got so leggy. They're about 2 weeks longer in the trays than I had planned on being, simply because life has been just so busy. But this is the first round of Lisianthus I had brought out to harden off. Now, this video it's been stretched out over the last 2 weeks. So these actually, you'll see these specific Lisianthus have been planted already. In this video, you'll see that. But I've been just this is what it's like here on the farm this past 2 weeks. It's just bringing stuff out, letting it harden off. I didn't want to bring these out here right immediately after. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be bringing any aphids into my greenhouse, and which these did have some bugs that I had to deal with, but that's part of it. I've been working on making my no-till beds in the greenhouse, which means I have to do a lot of packing soil by hand in 5-gallon buckets, which really kind of sucks. I have a lot of progress coming up on some of the plants that we had started in January, February, and these are some transplants. They look great. This is ranunculus, and there's I think I have a total of 800 ranunculus growing in the greenhouse right now, something like that. And yeah, I started planting Lisianthus. I think at this moment, at the time, I have pretty much all colors of Lisianthus except for white planted. That might change later today or tomorrow, which won't be in this video, but pretty much all of the Lisianthus that I wanted to plant in the greenhouse is pretty well planted in the greenhouse. And it's super easy with this method because I've made no-till beds, and so you just kind of make a little hole and just drop the Lisianthus in, and it's nice and loose and fluffy, and I really love this method. So as you can see, I have some worm castings that I put down on top of some leaves and such. I did notice that this probably doesn't work as well to do this order like I'm doing. So basically what I did is I put leaves down, and the leaves I had brought into the greenhouse in the previous year. I raked up a whole bunch of leaves, brought them in to mulch it, and then I put worm castings down, watered it, and then I put bone meal on top of that and then mixed it in. This method didn't work as well for me, and I actually changed my method after I'd done this because I found that I need to water after all of it's put together, and not before I have it all assembled. So basically what I'm doing here is I just sprinkled some bone meal, and I'm just going to mix that into the worm castings. And then once that's mixed into the worm castings, then I'm going to top dress it with some just potting mix that I want to use up. So when I bought my greenhouse, I actually also bought a pallet and a half of Pro Mix Medium, which is what most greenhouses grow in. It has beneficial bacteria in it so that it helps with the rooting systems of the plants for plant starts and helps maximize the growth. I want to use it up because by now most of that the microbiome in the soil is probably not as functional as it would be when it was fresher. So I want to use it up in here as get some volume and floof to my beds, or fluffiness. Fluffy. That's probably the word. I'm so tired. Oh, I'm just tired. So basically, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I water it in afterwards and then I plant into it. It works super well this way, and just it's really quick. I thought it would be better to kind of make all the beds and then go through and do the planting, but it's kind of nice to break it up in between. So yeah, see here, this is what I'm doing. I raked up some leaves and I'm making the base leaves, and then I just lasagna it up. And then this is the top dressing on top of the worm castings. And it works really, really well. The plants have gone through, a lot of the plants have been in here for 2 weeks already, and they're using this method, and it's really great. I am using non-chlorinated water. I evaporate the chlorine out of my water, and I don't have a pressure pump, so I can't use a sprayer on that tank. It's all gravity fed, so it's not a quick job. It's really not. I should have just filled the watering can and then done it that way, because then it would have been a lot easier, but I was just didn't feel like going and getting the watering can. So yeah, this is the method that works the best. Is I lay down the worm castings and then I put the bone meal on top, and then I mix that together and then top dress it and then water it, and that works the best. And of course, this is done on top of a layer of leaves on the bottom. And the plants have really rooted down very nicely. I'm noticing there's lots of life. There's worms and lots of beneficial bacteria down in the layers already. So this is a really good method that's working for me. I have a clay base underneath these beds, and so I'm really happy with how this is beginning to turn out. Fingers crossed, hopefully that it will continue to function well through the season and I don't lose my crops and have a whole bunch of weeds take over, which there's lots of cardboard laid down as well in the pathways and around, so there shouldn't be much weed pressure in here. So that's what it looks like when it's complete. Now I can water it in and then start planting into it. I'm thinking I'm going to put stock there. I'm not sure. And then those 2 beds I've already planted. I actually plant those with you. This is a beneficial arthropod that I found in my soil. It is known as a micro velvet mite, and they are predators. They eat aphid eggs. Yes. I'm so happy to see these. And yeah, this is another load of plants. This Lisianthus is going to harden off, and we'll be planting those later. So it's really nice to be able to just get things going in the ground, and they don't need a lot of hardening off. I just want to make sure that they can handle it, because our sun is intense already. and I want to make sure that they don't get scalded with like sun scald. And at nighttime, where the coldest it gets at night, what the average temperature it's been getting at night is 4 degrees Celsius inside the greenhouse, and I want to give them a little bit of time to adjust to that before I put them in their permanent spot. So I put them in the middle of the greenhouse where it's a little bit warmer, and then the blower from the fan can hit them from the furnace, and then I move them into their permanent spot the next day, and that's been working for me. I haven't lost any plants yet. I haven't had to replace any yet.
Get it?
Molly's been enjoying the warm days.
Did you get it? Did you get it? Can't find it? Oh no.
And this is one of our little orphan kittens that we raised, a bottle raised, as well as this one. And this is one of the hens we incubated together.
What you got going on there, honey?
The guineas and the chickens are really enjoying these warm days too. And they're enjoying all of the goodies they're getting out of the greenhouse as I've been cleaning it out. We're getting about 13 to 15 eggs a day, which has been great for Chaz's little egg business. He has a lot of money for Snack Shack ice creams. Speaking of Chaz and his teammates just recently won a junior curling championship bonspiel in Peace River. We're really proud of this little team. Congrats, Chaz Colson, Josh, and Elika on your win. Really proud of you kids. So it's been really busy. We've been between curling and AA baseball practice for Chaz, as well as planting, seed starting, and just doing the, when it's 30 below at night, rushed into the greenhouse. It is beautiful though. I love living here. What do you guys think of this? Kind of looks like there was a U-turn made here by one of the guineas. I'm pretty sure it was this guy. I know I'm tired because I spent an hour looking for this sticky that I just put in one of our seedling trays, and I couldn't find it. It was stuck in my hair. Ouch. But all in all, things are coming along, and slowly but surely I'm getting there, and it's really promising because I'm pretty sure spring's just around the corner. Thanks for watching.